I consider Gojong as the person who tried to develop and retain our country. Before I talk about how King Gojong tried to develop the country, I would begin with stories related to our cultural heritage and King Gojong. King Gojong is the last king of Joseon Dynasty and the first emperor of Korean Empire. He stayed in Gyeongbok Palace during the Joseon Dynasty. There's a building called Koncheongu in Gyeongbok Palace. It was a building for him to indicate political independence from his father, since his father did lots of political management instead of him. He stayed there and discussed political issues with lots of foreign powers. Tragedy happened in Gyeongbok Palace as well, as Japanese wanted to have more power against Joseon. The wife of King Gojong tried to struggle with it. Since Japanese thought her as an annoyance, Japanese assassins broke into Goncheongu and burned her, and threw her ashes in the palace. After her death and Japanese taking over Joseon, Gojong spent lots of his time in Doksu Palace. He used the palace as his new political base. There is a building called Junmyeongdang in Doksu Palace. It was originally built as the king's office, but it was later used as the first Western-styled kindergarten. Gojong had a late daughter, Princess Ducky. Loving her so much, he let this building to be used as a kindergarten for his daughter. Another building called Cheongwanhon is in Doksu Palace. It was built by a Russian architect as Gojong asked him. There's a story that Gojong enjoyed coffee with his son in Cheongwanhon. Gojong is presumed to be the first person to drink coffee in Joseon when he went to Russia. He really enjoyed drinking the coffee that he brought back with him and spread the coffee culture in Korea. These are brief stories about Gojong, but even by these stories, we can see his effort to modernize the country. He thought modernization can bring our country strength, so he tried many methods of modernization. The first one is becoming independent. When lots of countries tried to take over Joseon, King Gojong thought expressing our will for independence can make those countries to leave our country alone. He proclaimed Joseon as an autonomous, independent country and supported lots of organization. He provided funds and human resources for the independence movement. His backing made possible of the publishment of the independent newspaper, establishment of the Independence Club, and the construction of the Independence Gate. He also tried to get our country out of Japanese grasp by issuing arrests of pro-Japanese bureaucrats during Gwangmu Reform. During Gwangmu Reform, he also tried to promote the production of industries. He expanded the road by progressing modern urban planning construction, installed measurement milestones of the road by modeling after one from Washington, USA. Also, he made Tapco Park after American's president. He tried to organize the country as a modern one by regarding American style as a precedent. One famous example is that he made Joseon the first country in East Asia to have a trolley. He opened the streetcar, established an electric company, produced electricity in factories, switched on the light of Jongro. A building called Koncheongu in Gyeongbok Palace was the first building to have electricity. This might seem like nothing, but it was a huge change back then. By these examples, we should evaluate King Gojong's modernization service highly. It is not a waste to install electric facility in Gyeongbok Palace. He showed that the king is in the head of introducing new civilization, which lots of Confucianists opposed. He steadily installed telegraphic wire in the 1880s. He made Seoul a modern city. He propelled modernized plans such as establishing Central Park, Daehan Bank, and the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He founded lots of new industries, enlarged modern enterprise, and built modernized schools. He founded private schools and schools that taught building railroad. Also activated modernized military and imported naval vessels. For the aspects of international politics, he sent secret emissaries to comprehend the trend and movement of other countries. In 7 years, the importation cost of the country increased about 257 times. He also planned making a road that runs from end of nowhere to North Korea to South Korea. He was ready for modernization, which ended a failure due to Japan and British alliance and an infection of epidemic disease. Thank you.